Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys all doing? It's so nice to see you guys again. Today I wanted to come to you guys and talk about the topic of singleness, just to kind of discuss how I'm making the most of my single season, encouragement for any other single ladies out there, because I realized I haven't really spoken about it on my channel. And I don't know why, I've kind of been scared to talk about it, which is so strange because those people that know me in real life, all my friends know, like relationships, that's all I talk about. Like that is all I talk. I love talking about romance, and all my favorite people to watch on YouTube are like couples as well. So it's really strange that I haven't had the courage to talk about it on here. Hey ho, listen, there's a time for everything, and now is the time to talk about singleness. This is so weird. I'm literally just sitting here grinning like an idiot. Anyway, I think it's quite an interesting topic to talk about because obviously summer's coming up, and that's the season when everyone wants to be in like a beautiful relationship and like walk around, enjoy the sunshine with a bae. But what if you don't have a bae? This is my 20th summer without a bae. I've lived 20 years, by the way, guys. I've been single my whole life, although I did have a boyfriend in nursery called Ade. He didn't know he was my boyfriend, but I knew he was my boyfriend, and that was all that counted in my head. I used to chase him down the steps at nursery, and he used to run away from me to his dad, and I thought he loved me. I really thought he loved me. I thought that was his way of showing love. Singleness is a blessing, and this is something that I think is quite important to realise. Every season in life comes with its blessings. It comes with its difficulties, and it comes with its blessings. And the season of singleness is full of blessings. As a Christian, as a young woman of God, for me, it's such a beautiful time for me to get to know myself, get to know my maker, like learn how to just immerse myself in him and in his plans for me, and in his purposes for me. God has specific purposes for you in your life, and he's placed specific gifts in you. So now as a single is the perfect time. You don't have to focus on a partner, you can focus on God and on what he's calling you to do, and your calling and your purpose. I think my best tip for surviving the single period is simply to invest in yourself and invest in those gifts God has given you. So if you've got a passion for helping people, invest in that gift. Do something where you know you're helping people, where you're blessing people. If you've got a passion for serving in the church, maybe on the hospitality team, get fully involved in that. If you want to write books, write books. If you want to write songs, write songs. If you want to be a nurse, train to be a nurse and immerse yourself in becoming the best nurse you can possibly be. Get so immersed in your purpose and your calling and your God-given assignments that you almost forget that you're single. And what I've heard a lot is that it's in those moments where you are 100% pursuing your purpose that your partner finds you, because chances are they will find you and they will be doing something similar, or God will lead them to you during that time when you're 100% focused on him. So that's like my #1 tip. If you are not happy with the fact that you're single, chances are you're focused too much on the fact that you're single. I think it's important to make the most of this free time that you have as a single, to become an interesting person as well, because you know what happens if, you know, in your single season you're so focused on finding a man that you don't become an interesting person, and then when you do find a man, it's like you have nothing to offer him, you have nothing to talk about, you have no interests, you have no quirks, no callings that you're pursuing. You're just there like, okay, I found a man, that was my calling. And he's like, what? You know, like that's not what you want to happen. Definitely, as much as possible, get so immersed and involved in your purpose and your calling. That is a really good distraction from the fact that you're single. Right now I am so focused on God and on what he's calling me to do, and on, you know, this platform, my blog, all the different assignments, my degree, my year abroad, like all the different assignments and things that he's placed on my heart and tasks he's given me to get done. When the right guy comes and falls in love with me, that's going to be a beautiful time, but that season is going to happen in God's perfect timing. This is another decision you have to make, you know, for those of you who are out there trying to find a man, just like ardently searching and seeking for a guy. I think just let go and let God. That's my best tip for you, sis. Let go and let God. God is the best matchmaker, and his track record is perfect. If you let him orchestrate your relationship, his track record is perfect and is better than yours. And I can say that. How can I say that with confidence? Well, you're single. So yeah, his track record is perfect. So let go and let him. He is the author of romance. He is a God who loves romance. He romances us. So, you know, Jesus romances us. So let the author of romance write your love story, write your romance. That is such a beautiful thing and such a good way to practice surrendering to him. Give the pen of your love story up to God. My third tip, I guess, the third thing that I'm doing in this season of singleness is just trying to get into habits that will be healthy for when I'm married, because, you know, now is the time really to be putting those things into practice, making a habit of praying, being in constant communication with God, telling him how you feel, learning how to deal with trials, you know, learning how to worship your way through a trial, learning how to wage war spiritually, getting into the habit of meditating on God's word day and night like he tells us to do in Joshua, because marriage will come with its own set of trials and tribulations, and what better position to be in than to have already practiced and become an expert in and a master at all these things that are going to help you fight these battles during your married life. So yeah, I think now's the time to be building those kind of spiritual habits, but also everyday habits like keeping your room tidy. Think about your children, think about the habits you're going to pass on to your children and that they're going to pass on to their children. And you know, as much as it's really far ahead in the future, sometimes that can be motivation. Like, how do I want to raise my kids? I want to raise my kids to keep the area around them tidy, because I know that a tidy area means a tidy mind, and a tidy mind means a tidy life to a large extent. So things like that, just getting into those habits from now. And I think number 4 is and this kind of ties in with investing in yourself, but I would say invest in your appearance. Make sure that you are looking good. It doesn't mean you have to wear loads of makeup. It's whatever you have to do, whatever suits you. So whether that's going to the gym, whether that is just putting on a little makeup every day, just getting into the habit of doing that, because that will attract your partner as well. They, you know, people are attracted to people who are presentable, people who look good, people who are physically attractive in that sense. So, you know, make sure you're looking your best. And often what happens is when you're looking your best, you're feeling your best. And when you feel your best, you reflect the best version of yourself, and that in itself is so beautiful and will attract the person who's right for you. So definitely make sure that, you know, you're dressing well, walk with your head up high, with your shoulders back, and that is so attractive. Celibacy, I think, is important to talk about because it can be a struggle. Obviously there are days where, you know, there's a guy and he's really good looking and I'm just like, my body's just feeling some kind of way, but I have an assignment to do and I have purpose projects to do, and you just have to discipline yourself and be like, no, Lord, I'm focusing on you because he's a distraction. Just surrendering those emotions and those desires to God is such a powerful thing. And if in those moments, in the heat of the moment when you feel, you know, if you're in the situation where you feel tempted or you just are just struggling with lust or whatever, a really good weapon against that is worship. It's really hard to be lusting after someone and to be worshipping God at the same time. There's such a sense of peace and confidence that just falls on you when you know that God is orchestrating your love story, that your man is on his way, and that all you need to do in order for this whole thing to work out beautifully is focus on God and get so immersed and caught up in his love. Learn to love on him, you know, learn to love on him. I remember when I was reading Genesis earlier this year, God gave me a revelation about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and how Adam was asleep and Eve was being molded. So if you're Eve in that situation right now and your Adam's not awake, or he's not even, you know, present, you have the choice to either focus on Adam being asleep and get het up and frustrated with that, or to focus on God who's molding you and to look into his eyes as he molds you and see what part of you he's shaping now. Is it your character? Is it the way you respond to trials? Is it he's teaching you to live outside of your emotions and not be a slave to how you feel? Focus on God and what God is doing and everything will fall into place. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed it because I love talking about relationships. I'm literally the world's soppiest romantic. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.